Hello, I'm Wayne Visser and I'm Director of CSR International, and I'm here today in San Francisco with Ellen Weinreb, who is founder of Sustainability Recruiting. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here, Wayne.
Well, kick us off with your view on the state of sustainability jobs.
Right. Well, there's been a tough economy, and there's a lot of recovering going on right now. So I'd say that there are different types of jobs out there. I've done a study that's available on my website, which is ellenweinreb.com, and it found that there are, in terms of sustainability positions, there's positions at startups, there's a lot of sustainability consulting positions going on, and then there's also internal positions inside a company, developing sustainability within that company. And then lastly, there are research-related positions, academic-related positions that are looking at sustainability. So overall, there's growth. I'd say what's hurt a lot is the NGO sector in terms of the last year. And where there's the most growth is amongst consultants that have a specific expertise. It's not, let's say, CSR in general. It's some specialization around, let's say, life cycle analysis or packaging, let's say, sustainable packaging, or just some examples.
And I know as part of this you also looked at salaries. What could you tell us about that?
Yes, right. So I recently wrote an article on salaries, and as a recruiter, I'm often talking to people about their salaries. So one of the questions I asked was, are the sustainability professionals making less money than the unsustainable professionals? And the answer is a little bit. They have less bargaining power. A lot of sustainability professionals really, really want this job so that they're willing to compromise salaries. In general, I think the heads of CSR that are working within the company, if they're a director level position, they might be making around $150K. This is all US. And then if they're a VP level, they might be making around $200K. I mean, it all depends. I have an article on GreenBiz that goes into more detail about it, and there's also information about that in my blog.
Okay. And what would you say are the sorts of qualifications that companies or employers are looking for in this area?
Right, that's a good question as well, because at the beginning, it was, we need somebody who understands this stuff. And they hired them, but they were running into a lot of roadblocks. So then the next question with the next level was, we need somebody who can create change within an organization. We don't really care how much they know about sustainability. They just need to be change agents, really good change agents. And now in a much more detailed understanding of what is entailed, those two are really important factors: understanding sustainability, understanding the change. Also, there's a requirement for specialization. So the generalist is often that person on the top, but then within his or his organization, there are packaging specialists and EHS specialists and climate specialists. And so I think as a professional, one needs to make a decision. Do I niche into something like climate, water, some kind of ecosystem service, or do I want to continue on as a generalist? And it's often challenging to meet that.
And one of the questions I often get asked is, should I do an MBA or should I do a master's in sustainability or responsible business or something? How are these sort of master's level programs being valued?
The MBAs are, I would say, better received in the multinational corporations, and the sustainable management degrees are extremely valuable. I think the positions that graduates are getting are in the public sector, they're in startups. I often find that the sustainable management course is like an incubator. It's an opportunity for somebody to build and grow an idea, and then they can often run with it. So a lot of entrepreneurs are coming out of it, and by that means it can be extremely valuable.
And how many people are going into these positions through recruiting firms like yours that are specialized in this area? how much are going through general recruiting firms and how much are just direct approaches?
I'd say 80-90% are direct approaches. I'm a small firm. I do a number of searches, but if you look at the number of people graduating, the number of job seekers that are interested in sustainability, it's the numbers are in the hundreds, and the searches that I can do, I can count on my hands in terms of how many I'm doing in a year. So for the most part, job seekers need to network and and create their own jobs and get them. I do have a lot of resources for job seekers on my website.
Great. Last question maybe. I know that you've worked more generally in the area of linking HR to sustainability and that whole cross-fertilization. Can you say a little bit more about that? Beyond the recruiting, what are the links?
Right. So I'm currently looking at what sustainability recruiting will be doing for the year 2015, let's say. And there's a growth in terms of increasing the value of HR within an organization and incorporating sustainability more into the HR function and tying it more into the company as a whole. And so that's something that I'm exploring currently. Also organizational development and organizational structures. I think that HR is kind of the last of the functions to jump on the sustainability bandwagon, and there's a huge opportunity for tie-in.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts today.
Absolutely.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, Wayne.